Yo, what up, guys? This is the voice of Mr. Solution. On today's episode, we'll be looking at understanding the MACD trading indicators. Shout out to my man Eldwiz, who actually asked me to do this video. And please know that what we just be doing today will be the introductory part of the MACD. We won't go balls deep into it. So you just look at the meaning of MACD and then how you can actually use it. So in subsequent editions, when we go to the deeper part of it, that's when we get to talk about the MACD proper. We get to exhaust everything that has to do with the MACD trading indicator. All right, so the MACD is actually an acronym which stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. Okay, it's an acronym MACD. Some persons call it MACD, so I prefer to call it MACD. Okay, so it means Moving Average Convergence Divergence. Each of these alphabets has a word to it. M is the moving average, convergence, divergence. That's the MACD, moving average, convergence, and divergence. All right. So this is just the pictorial representation of it. Don't worry, when we go deeper into this, as we go further on this, you get to understand this thing and then how you can always get it on your own trading exchange or on your own trading interface. All right. So it's a trading indicator which tells the general trend of the market. Some tells books say that it's a momentum indicator. All the same thing, all means the same thing, means that it tells you the very people who are in charge. Trend, as we all know, there are basically three trends of the market: uptrend, downtrend, and then we have the sideways trend. Okay, other people call it ranging markets. Okay, so what the market does is that it tells you the particular party who are in charge. Is the market bullish? Are the bulls in charge? Is the market bearish? Are the bears in charge? Or is the market just ranging? Like there is an indecision in the market. So that's what the MACD does, is a momentum indicator. It tells you the general trend of the market. Then the MACD has various parts to it, has various components to it. We have the MACD line, which is just the difference between the 26-day moving average and then the 12-day moving average, exponential moving average, actually. And then we also have the signal line. Signal line simply means the 9-day exponential moving average of the MACD line. Don't worry, there are calculations involved in this, but we don't need to worry ourselves on that. We don't need to stress ourselves on that. It's already configured on the system. It's already configured on this. It's already there in the platform. So you don't need to know all this. You don't need to worry your head about it, but it's just good we get to know how these things, okay, how they get to come about. All right, so then we have the histogram. Histogram is simply the difference between the MACD line and the signal line. Okay, it shows how far or below the MACD line is in relation to the signal line. In other words, the further apart the MACD line is to the signal line, then the bigger the histogram. The closer they are, the smaller the histogram. When we get to the live class, we see this as it plays out, okay? And then this is the MACD line here. The MACD line is denoted as blue. So the blue line here represents the MACD line. The red line represents the signal line. And then this yellow shape is called the histogram. It doesn't mean that this is naturally how it is. On your own platform, you could decide to configure it to suit you. You could decide to change each of these colorations to suit you the way you want it, okay? So we do that. You can see how it's done when we get to that live section. Now, this is also the MACD. You can see here, I just decided to change the color of my trading platform. I just changed the color. So just to show you that I can always change it to whatever suits you, can modify it to whatever suits you. So basically, the signal line is a smooth out, less choppy version of the MACD line. Okay, so what it means is that the signal line is less choppy. It's less choppy than the MACD line. Why the MACD line is more choppy, the signal line is actually less choppy than the MACD line, although both of them nearly have the same shape, but then one is less choppy than the other. Now, the roles of the MACD, some persons who trade the MACD most of the time use it to know when to buy and when to sell, okay? So traders who use the MACD indicator use it either as a buy or a sell signal. So they buy when the MACD line crosses above the signal line, and then they sell when the MACD line crosses below the signal line. But they just need to understand something. What you need to understand here is that the higher time frame MACD should give you more genuine reason to make whatever trading decision you're making. let's say you're trying to trade with the 4 hour and the 1 hour. You need to focus more on what the higher time frame MACD is doing. That's a 4 hour. So whatever it does should give you your trading decision. So you don't base your trading decision off what the lower time frame MACD is telling you. That's just the point. The point. These last two points is trying, that's just the sense this last 2 points is trying to make, that the higher time frame MACD, okay, if higher time frame MACD crosses above the signal line, you should go long, and if higher time frame MACD crosses below the signal line, you should go short. Don't worry, when we get to the advanced form of this MACD, we now get to learn how you can combine the various time frames, okay, for you to make the best trading decision when it comes to MACD. All right, so let's go to the live class. Let's go to the live class and then understand how you can configure this MACD to your trading platform, right? So this is FTX, and you all know that I use FTS, and if you don't have an account yet, I encourage you to do that. Use my link, and as you're using my link, you'll be getting 5% off your trading fee. So instead of you paying higher, whatever it is that will be charged for your trading, there'll be 10%, 5% reduced from you. So you'll be getting 5% off your trading fee whenever, if you use my referral link to get an account with FTX exchange. All right, so this is BNB USDT. We are using BNB USDT for this illustration, and then the time frame we are using is 4 hours. So for you to get your indicator, for you to get the MACD, simply go to these very indicators and then search for MACD, that's MACD. And so once you tap on it, it pops up. Okay, you can now exit, and then this is it. This is your MACD. Then, if you're not okay with this coloration, you can see that our histogram is showing red, the MACD line is showing blue, and then the signal line is showing red. If you're not cool with it, you can equally configure it to serve you. Just go to this settings section, tap on it, then change this color. Let me change the histogram to white. I want it to be on white, and then leave the rest the way they are. Leave both the MACD and the signal the way they are. Okay, I'll just leave them the way they are. So here is it. This is it now. So this is the MACD itself. This is the MACD proper. Let me expand it so that you can see it clearly. All right, so I just want you to observe something. This is the histogram, as we all know, and we said that what it does is that it measures the distance between the MACD line and the signal line. So the further apart they are, the bigger the histogram, and the closer they are, the smaller the histogram. But then if you look closely, you observe something, that sometimes the histogram is facing up, sometimes it's facing down. As you can see here, it faces down here, over here it faced up, and then faced up, then face down, and then here is small. Now the reason why it's like that is this. Like we all pointed at that, what this thing does is that it checks the trend of the market. That is a momentum indicator. It tells us the current trend of the market, those who are in charge, are the bulls in charge or are the bears in charge. So anytime you see that the MACD line is facing down, anytime the histogram is facing down, what it means is that the bears are in control. In other words, the market is going down. But if you see that the histogram is facing up, what it means is that the bulls are in control. In other words, the market is actually going up. Okay, so now look at the size of the MACD compared to the position of the signal line and the MACD line. Look at it and consider at these very points, they are actually a bit far. They are further apart. That's why the MACD line is big. And at this point, they kind of came together. They kissed each other here. That's why you have this MACD showing small. So the further apart they are, the bigger the histogram, then the closer they are, the smaller the histogram. So that's the point I want us to understand about this. And then, like we said, that sometimes traders could use this thing either as a buy or as a sell signal. But you need to understand something. You need to understand that these indicators, 99 of them actually lagging. They're lagging in the sense that they only show you something that had already occurred. So they don't show you something when it's occurring. So they get to show it after the thing had already occurred. So that's why it's not always good for you to make your trading decision off what the indicator is telling you. You need to combine it with price action. You need to combine with price action, and then you need to know how to combine it with other very good indicators so that I can make the absolute best trading decision. Now, yes, we said that sellers can use it as either as a buy or as a sell signal. Now let's follow here. Let's just start from here. You can see that at this very point, the market was actually down. It started going down from here, and at the point it started going down, I want you to observe something. I want you to observe that this MACD line kind of went below. Let me expand this. So that we get to see it clearer. Okay, so look at it. Okay, here. Okay, let's just start from here. At this very point, see how the market has been going. You can see that at this very point that the signal line was above the MACD line. In other words, the MACD line went below the signal line. Look at where the crossing occurred. So immediately there was this crossing, market actually started tanking, started going down. Immediately the MACD line went below the signal line, market actually started going down. Now up onto this very point where there was a cross, okay, the MACD line went above, the signal line. Markets in a kind of, look at it, market actually resurrected a little bit. Look at this very point, kind of woke up a little bit, and then after then the market actually started tanking. Remember I told you that the downside to these indicators is that it is lagging. Now look at where this cross occurred. Look at where this MACD line went below the signal line. Look at the points. Meanwhile, the dumping had already started before the crossing occurred. Can you see why we say it's always lagging? It tells you the result of something that had already occurred. It doesn't show you the immediate reaction. It shows when the reaction had already, it's more like it doesn't show you the immediate action. Okay, it just shows you when the thing had already occurred. So that's why it's not always good for you to base your trading decision off what indicators are telling you. So look at where the crossing occurred at this very point. You can see that this was where the MACD line went below the signal line. But before then, market had already started dumping. The market had actually started dumping. Then it got to this very point, it reversed. Look at where the reversal occurred. Look at, just follow the line. Follow the line to the current to this place. Follow it to that point. So look at where this crossing occurred. At the point where the crossing occurred, market had already picked up. Okay, market had already started going up, and yeah. So some traders do this, or you just need to know that when this thing happens, when this crossing happens, it means that the price had the main action had already taken place. So this is more like trying to play back what had already occurred. So some traders trade with this. I'm not negating the fact that there are some traders who do this, but you just need to understand that sometimes when this thing happens, it's like a playback of what had already occurred before. Okay, so they're kind of dovetailing an activity that had already occurred. So immediately at this very point, now you see that the MACD line has gone above the signal line. So from there, market actually started. Look at where it occurred. Look at where this reversal occurred. Then, but the market had already gone further. Then from there, it's been going up. And look at this MACD line. MACD line has actually been on top up onto this very point where there was a little crossing, a little coming together. Hence, the shortening of this histogram. The histogram became smaller because the MACD line and the signal line kind of came together, and then, and still the MACD line still went above, went on top, and that's why the markets kept on going up. And then there was a reversal here. Look at where the crossing occurred. You can see the points where the crossing occurred. Meanwhile, market had already started tanking before the crossing actually occurred. And then see, look at it, and all this while all along, market has actually been going down. Now I just want us to focus on what is currently happening. Let's just focus on the recent price action. Now, what can you make of this? You can see that right now that the MACD line has crossed above the signal line. Look at where the crossing occurred. But then look at where the market already picked up. Okay, but then see where the crossing is just occurring. Okay, that's why we keep saying that indicators are lagging. Okay, it shows you something that had already occurred. Look at where the crossing occurred, but look at where this very MACD crossing is happening. So when you follow it to the price, you can see where the thing is already happening. But look at where the reversal took place, right? So that's why we say sometimes it's actually lagging. So it's not always good for you to base your trading decision off what indicators are telling you. I'm not saying it's not profitable. I'm just saying that for you to maximize your trading decision, it's not always good for you to, base your decision off what indicators are telling, because they are lagging. So I will leave you to make your decision. What would you be doing at this very point in time where we've already seen that the MACD line is already above the signal line, in other words, that the market is picking up, and then following this current histogram, you can see that it's actually tilting towards the bullish aspect. It's not downwards, rather it's upwards, meaning that there is an element of bullishness. And please remember that what we are using is 4-hour time frame for this, and this is not a buy signal. This is not a buy signal. I'm not analyzing the market for you. I'm just trying to share with you guys how these indicators work. All right, guys. So that's all for MACD indicators. That's all for today. So if you have any question, you want to ask anything, you want to ask, like I said, the link to all my social media channels will be at the description section of this video. You can always reach out to me, ask whatever question you want to ask. And if there's anything you want me to review to you, any topic you want me to share with you guys, anything you want me to teach about cryptocurrency trading, I want you to leave it at the comment section of this video. I will go through it and pick everybody's issue, everybody's topic. I will scrutinize it and then share what I know about it. So if you like what I'm doing, you like my content, kindly hit the subscribe button, share the video to your friends, share it to your group, refer people to this video. Until I come your way again, I remain your man, Mr. X to the O to the L to the U to the Sean, Mr. Solution.